Okay, I'd like to call the Tuesday study session to order, January 7th, 2020. Let's do this again. I'd like to call the Tuesday study session for January 7th, 2025 to order. Time is 12:04 and all council members are present. So we will move on to review today's council meeting agenda. Ms. Long?
Thank you. Good afternoon. So this is your council agenda for this afternoon's meeting. It is agenda. It is amended. We did review your consent agenda items yesterday, and there are no changes to that. So unless you have questions on those resolutions, we'll move on. I'll remind you too that under section 6, the executive will be here to speak under messages from the executive. And then there have been 3 ordinances added to your agenda indicating signature by the executive. You do not have any proclamations during this afternoon's meeting. So we'll move to section 8 resolutions, and you have our 2024-268 here, and that is appointing an individual to serve to fill the vacancy in the District 5 council position. And just as a reminder, the sequence of events will be when you get to section 8, we'll do an overview of the process. You'll do the interviews of the candidates one by one. We'll have the 2 who are not being interviewed wait in the lobby. 6 questions, maximum of 3 minutes per question. Once those are complete, council may go into executive session. We have a room reserved for that upstairs. And then when you come back, you will take action on the appointing resolution. All right, you have no ordinances. And then under other business, you do have a couple of items. The first is the election of officers. And it's my understanding the process that will be used, and there's more than one way to do this, but is just taking nominations. So it won't be a motion and second requirement, but the chair will call for nominations. Somebody will nominate individuals as a slate. If there are any other nominations, those will be put forth. You'll take a vote on the first slate that was nominated, second, third, however it rolls out. But whenever you get to a majority, that's it. So it takes a majority to elect your officers. And then following that, you have the administration of the oaths of office, and Judge Adams will be up here. I'll email her at the appropriate time to come up. And that's your agenda for this afternoon.
Okay. Are there any questions? Any to the agenda? I do want to make the council aware that we have reserved the conference room on the 11th floor for our executive session. So you may want to go out the back way and up the stairs, or you can go this way and up the stairs, but we'll be meeting on the 11th floor conference room to discuss that. Is there anything else? Questions pertaining to the appointment process? I think we solved the interview process. We're just going to do it one by one.
Right.
Do we have confirmation that all 3 are going to be here?
I have not received confirmation. I haven't received one way or another that nobody has dropped out or intended not to be here, and all in person as I understand it.
Okay, just making sure. Okay. I don't see any questions, so we'll move on to chair's topics. I don't have any topics other than it's going to be a interesting meeting. Okay, so we'll move on, and then other business. Communication manager, Brian.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the council. Here to talk mostly about proclamations today. We're moving our first 3 proclamations of the year through our expedited process because we didn't have the time to do our normal 5 weeks. So this is expedited. In your packet, you'll see proclamation for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is scheduled for January 14th. Whole Child Month, which is also scheduled for January 14th. And then a recognition of Dr. Leo Charles Brown Jr., and that's for the 21st. So that'll be the week after next. Yeah, please take a look at those proclamations and let me know if you have any changes for them. And I'll get those changes made. And my plan is to put these before the Rules and Operations Committee on Monday, the Monday before the meeting, since we didn't have a chance to do it at our first Rules and Operations Committee meeting, and then we'll go through the presentation. And then also in your packet is our 2025 annual proclamations list. I've heard back from several council members on the ones they want to sponsor, along with some requests to be added. You are welcome to add proclamations to this list at your leisure as you think of them. So this is not like a Rosetta Stone set and list. You can never do a proclamation outside of that. So, please, if you have proclamations you want to do or constituents reach out to you, just get with me and I can get that scheduled. And yeah, pending any questions, that's all I have.
Okay. Councilmember Hitchens.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Dominique, and to my colleagues, the executive has asked to sign on to the Whole Child Month proclamation, and I didn't get that approved yesterday during rules. So does anyone have objection to having the executive sign on to that one as well? Okay, so if we can just make sure that that happens, that would be good. Thank you.
Any other questions? Councilmember Densing.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just a question for the council or a point of discussion. I appreciated getting the list and looked through them. And I think most of them were things that I was excited about supporting. So I signed on to probably most of them. Does anybody have an issue with that? It doesn't mean I want to speak to it. Obviously, whoever came up with it would, I assume, read it. But is that a problem? It's not really the way we've done it in the past. So I just want to make sure everybody was okay with that. And what? Chair Morrell, why are you looking at me? Just want to make sure I didn't step on any toes.
Good to know. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you might be the sponsor of all those.
Well, somebody else I think was sponsoring them, but I just thought I would be there to support.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Councilmember Krueger.
Thank you, Chair. I just was going to say, I think we have done it in the past where we were signing on so that you had that ahead of time. But it just to me says that you support the idea. It doesn't mean you plan to read it, whatever. And there are just different folks who are more appropriate in reading it. And we can,
Yeah, we determine.
fight it out later.
Figure it out.
Sounds
We can
good.
thumb wrestle.
Yeah, I like that. Leg Russell. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. I think we could figure it out. Okay. We do have an executive session, so thank you, Brian. Ms. Long, can you explain the executive session?
Thank you. So today's executive session is authorized by RCW 4230-110-1I. The purpose is to discuss with legal counsel matters of pending or potential litigation to which the county is or may become a party and to which public knowledge of the discussion is likely to result in an adverse legal or financial consequence to the county. Mr. Chair, if you would state the time at which we'll return to an open session before we do go into executive session. And then again, the only item on the agenda following your return from executive session is adjournment. So the council won't be taking any other action today. I guess I'd ask. Except we do have one new member who isn't familiar, so maybe a little extra background for that. Okay.
Okay, we'll put you on the hot seat and go to 12:30 and see if you can do it in that compressed amount of time.
We're going We moving?
No, let's do 12:35. That should give you enough time. Okay, 12:35, we're adjourned until Okay. We're back in regular session, no action taken in executive session. Is there any,
State the time.
uh,
We're
Let me get around you.
ready?
Yep.
Okay, we're back in regular session, no action taken in executive session. Is there any other business that we need to address?
Nope.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.